The party of the Seoul penthouse was loud. Music and laughter filled the corner. Theo stood by the floor-to-ceiling window, looking outside the city light. He was a vision in a deep purple silk shirt, his hair softly styled. He was talking with his old friend from art school, a handsome man named Jiang, who was laughing at something they had said. For across the room, Jungkook watched. He had seen the way Jihan looked at Tae, a look that was too familiar, too admiring. A possessiveness hate coiled in Taeyoung's stomach. Jimin noticed his friend's dark expression, slided up to him. Jungkook, relax. You're burning a hole through the poor guy with your eyes. He's just an old friend. He's standing too close, Jimin. You'll be talking to him for an hour. Jimin is just friendly. You know that. Don't make a scene. But the scene was already played in Jungkook's head. The green night monster was whispering. He wants. What's here? The car ride home was quiet and good. They felt like the tension from Jungkook in his driving seat. Cook, are you okay? You have been quiet. I'm fine. His tone was clipped, finer, and they signed. Once inside the room, the apartment, that damn road, Jungkook shut the door with the firm click. What was all that, Tae? What was what? With that guy. You were particularly glued to him all night. The young eyes winded in disbelief. He took off his jacket slowly and hanged it up. We were talking about art. It was just conversation, Jungkook. It doesn't look like just conversation to me. The way he was looking at you, the way you were smiling. Kirk's voice would rise. It was a frustration that was more pain than anger. He felt insecure, a feeling he hated. Are you serious right now? You're jealous of a 5-minute conversation, and after 7 years together, 3 years married, you still don't trust me. It's not about the trust. It's about him knowing things about you for a time. It wasn't there. It's about the way you light up for someone else. They shook his head. Heart collided his beautiful feature. He turned to walk toward the room, but Jungkook catched his wrist. The touch was electric, but not in a good way. It was desperate. Don't walk away from me. In Jungkook's eyes, they saw the jealousy, but also a deep itching love that had gotten twisted. Instead of the slight something in Jungkook, he didn't want to fight with words. He wanted to claim, to remind, to connect in the most way to know. He pulled them closer, his gaze not soft or asking, but demanding and possessive. They stepped for a moment before melting, always a slave to that forever bond together. The night, the love-making was not gentle. It usually was. It was intense, driven by Jungkook, unchecked emotion, a physical to this claim. It was passionate, but it lacked the tenderness. Afterward, as they lay in the dark, Jungkook felt a hollow victory. They was turned away from him. His breath, even but his body was strict. The next morning, sunlight streamed into their room. Jungkook walked to an empty space beside him. The sheets were cold. He felt a pang of anxiety immediately. He got up pulling on sweatpants and went out to the kitchen. They was there. He was making coffee, moving, delicate slowness. He looked beautiful in the morning light wear. Jungkook called university hoodie. They picked up the mug and book from the center. He walked past Jungkook toward the living room. His silence a physical wall. It hit Jungkook then. The silent treatment. This wasn't just morning quietness. This was a choice. Jungkook made his own coffee. His mind was racing. He followed Tae to the balcony. They were sitting on the lounge. Open book, ignoring the world. I'm sorry about the last night. I was out of line. No response. They took a sip of his coffee, turning a page. They, please, talk to me. Yell at me. Hit me if you want. Just don't do this. The young guy's gaze fixed on the book, but Jungkook saw his jaw tied slightly. He was listening, but he was not engaging. The day continued. In his painful quiet, Jungkook tried everything. He made breakfast, favorite soup. Jungkook stood in the living room, feeling lost. His husband was in their house, but he felt a million miles away. He texted that only person he thought might understand. I messed up, big time. He's not speaking to me, Jimin replied a few minutes later. What do, you idiot? Got jealous at the party. Then our night together, it wasn't right. It was about me, not us. Now he was just silent. Jungkook. The young silence is his loudest scream. You have to listen to what he's saying. Give him space, but don't stop showing up. Frustrated and so hard, Jungkook decided to clean. He cleaned that already spotless apartment, trying to burn off his nervous energy. Everything came usually. They would cook together, watch a movie, talk about their days. Now the apartment felt like a museum. The young from his studio, his expression was unreadable. He warmed up the leftover soup, ate alone at the kitchen, and they went to take a shower. Jungkook felt a tear of frustration escape. He was a man of action. He fixed problems. He could not fix this silence. When they came out of the shower, his hair damp and Beta. Hey, I miss your voice. I'm so sorry. I was scared. I saw him making you laugh, and I feel replaceable. It's not an excuse. It's just the truth. I love you so much. It sometimes hurts. In the darkness, he saw Theung's shoulder rumble once. A silent sob, but still no words. Jungkook own eyes. Yoongi found himself in soundproof after a failed recording. He looked worse than from 2013. What's eating you, kid? Hyung, he hasn't spoke a word to me in 3 days. Yoongi whispered aloud. This silent treatment is legendary. Remember when he didn't speak to Jinha for a week? Over that kimchi stew, you must have really. Later the evening, Jungkook arrived at an unexpected sight. The living room was warm, lighted by lamps. They were sitting on the sofa, and sitting across from his armchair were Jin and Jimin. It was an intervision. Jimin gave Jungkook a sympathetic look. Jin gestured him to sit. Our beloved Magni. Come sit. We're having a little family meeting. Jungkook heard sing. He sat on the edge of the sofa for Theung. We heard Jungkook's side. Now say we need to hear yours. Even if you don't want to talk to him, talk to us. A long silent stretch. Jungkook held his breath. Then the rough voice filled the room. It wasn't directed at Jungkook, but it was a sound. It hurts. Jimin's face was soft. What hurt, love? The night? It felt like I was just, I think. Jungkook felt each word like a physical blow. He wanted to react out, to explain, but Jin held up to stop him. And the silence? Why that? They finally filled and lifted his gaze through not Jungkook. He looked at his hands, his eyes full of deep sadness. Because my words were half weapons, sharp and angry. Good. Now communicate each other. It's good. And Jungkook heard him. What do you have to say for yourself? You look at him when you say it. Jungkook turned his whole body to face Theung. His husband finally met his eyes. The pain there was almost too much to bear. You were never a thing. You're everything. I was stupid and scared, and I turned my fear into something ugly. He is the most precious thing between us. They stared at him. His expression was softening from stone to something fringle. He gave a tiny, almost nod, then clapped his hands together. Excellent. Progress. Najimin and I will leave you two alone with this bird of the bookie. Eat, talk, or sit in a quiet company, but correct. After their friends left, the apartment was quiet again, but it was different quiet. It was no longer a wall, but a fringle space. They ate in a silence that was not thoughtful. After eating, they took the plates to the kitchen. Jungle followed him like a lost puppy. Can I help? They shook his head. He washed the plates, and Jungle tried them. A familiar, comfortable dance. When they were done, they leaned against the counter, looking at the floor. I miss you too. The words are soft. Jungkook almost thought to imagine them. His heart trembled against his ribs. What? They looked up. I said I miss you too. These past days, even though you were right there. I miss you, Jungkook. It was like the first drop of rain after a long, and Jungkook took a careful steps toward him. Can I hold you, please? They hesitated for a second, then gave a small nod. Jungkook closed the distance, wrapped his arms around Taeyong, buried his face in his husband's neck. He felt Taeyong's arms come up to wrap around his waist. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, Taeyong. I love you. I love you more than anything. I know. The voice was muffled against his shoulder. I love you. That's why it hurts so much. They broke the hug, but stayed closer. Forehead touch. Jungkook cupped Taeyong's face. His thumbs swiped away the tears. I will never make you feel like that again. I swear on my life. It's not just about the night, Jungkook. It's about you trusting me. Trusting us. I do. I was an idiot. I saw that now. My love for you is so big something it felt like it might swallow me. An instant of just feeling it, I got scared. It wasn't a big of you. It's my issue, not yours. I'll work on it with you. If you let me. They searched his eyes, looking for the drug. He must found it because he leaned in and pressed a soft kiss on his lips. I need time. The woods are back, but the feeling, they feel safe. It's need to come back to. Take all the time you need. I'm not going anywhere. I'm right here. The night they went to the bed together, they allowed Jungkook to hold him from behind. His back pressed Jungkook, and Jungkook breathed in the scent of his ear. His heart finally came into days of pounding. Good night, my love. They felt their hand find it, where it rested on the stomach, and intertwined their finger. Good night. Sleep came easily for the first time in day. The morning on Saturday, Jungkook walked up to find they already awake. Just watching him sleep, there was a softness in their eyes that had been absent. Morning. Good morning. I was thinking. The day was clear. They walked along the river, shoulder brushed against them. They talk about the little things, the funny shape of cloud, a dog playing. They didn't talk about the fight or the silence. They were returning each other's rhythms. They bought them 2 ice creams. And they sat on the beach. They spoke. His eyes were on the water. Taeyong, he talked about you at the party. He said he followed our careers. He said we look good together. I'm an idiot. Yes, they said in a simply without. Then they looked at Jungkook, a small smile touching his lips. But you are my idiot. It was the first real laugh. Jungkook felt like he had been giving the sun. A week passed in gentle steps. They talked more. They cooked together, watched movies on the couch. One evening, Jungkook was chopping vegetable for dinner. They put a hand over to stop him. You don't have to walk on eggshells, you know. I don't want to mess up again. Tiptoeing around me felt like another kind of silence, Jungkook. I don't want you to be careful. I want you to be you. My confidence. Something silly. and loving husband. Jungkook put the knife down. His shoulder was thumping. I'm scared of the part of me to got possessive. They turned to Jungkook to face him. The part of you is just the part that loves me. You just need to be reminded that I'm yours, freely and happy. You don't have to fight for that. What's already yours. You just have to. He took Jungkook's hand and placed it over his heart. Jungkook could feel that beat under his palm. Do you feel that? It's beat for you. Only you. Every day. This bang to Jungkook's eyes. It was that he needed, giving freely without having to demand it. I love you more than anything in the world. The night, as they got ready for bed, the atmosphere was shifted. It was charged with the old, but now layered with a new depth of emotion. Jungkook was brushing his teeth with Tae, came up behind him, resting his chin on his shoulder, and looked at him. In the bedroom, the lights were low. This time everything was different. It was slow, tender. A conversation of sight and touch at the lock case. Every kiss was an I'm sorry. Even cares a thank you for saying. Every whispered, I love you. It was making love, in the truest sense, reclaiming each other, not out for fear, but as a reward. Afterward, wrapping in each other's arm, sticking and breathless, and closer than they had been in weeks, they spoke into the dark. That was us again, he said, holding, kissing their forehead, his lips. We never really left. We just got lost for a minute. I promise to always find my way back to you. And I promise to always be there with you. A month later, Jungkook had a plan. He enlisted the help of Jin and Jimin again, and even Yoongi and Namjoon, who really all too happy to help after seeing their friends suffer. They said it was their favorite art museum. After hours, Namjoon was disconnected. He arranged a private view, but it was just an. They was brought there by Jimin under the sing of new secret. When they entered the new mall, it was dark, quiet, for a single spotlight. Under the light was a canvas, and it wasn't a painting by a famous artist. It was a collection of memory, photographs of them for days to their wedding, silly selfies, dry airport pictures. In the center was a large black space. Jimin and they forward and then disappeared. Music began to play, a soft piano, and played by Yoongi. From the shadow, Jungkook walked into the light. He looked nervous but didn't mind, dressed in a simple, elegant suit. The hand flew to his mouth. His eyes widened. I wanted to create a new memory for us. On the overriding the bed now. I made. This is our future. But first I have something to say. He leaned to the page in front of the canvas. Before him, not letting go of his hand. Chontheon, my husband, my best friend. The silence taught me to listen to the things you say without words, the way you hum when you cook, the little sign you make when you're concentrating, the sound of your heartbeat under my ear. That's my favorite. There was crying feeling, now silent beautiful tears. I vowed to never again let my love sound like jealousy. I vowed to let it sound like spurt, like truth, like unwavering fate. I vowed to spend my life filling the blank canvas with you, with us, with more happiness than this frame can hold. Will paint the rest of our life with me, again, every day. It wasn't a new proposal. It was Thank pulled Jungkook in two, and they held each forgiveness heart, memory, every hope tomorrow. It was tender and passionate, a perfect blend of them. It's every day always. From the shadow, their fins clapping and sniffing, Jin was dramatically wiping tears. I'm acne. You make my amazed face all puffy. Laugh filled the grand hall, music played, and in the middle of it, Jungkook and Taehyung held each other with their own private rhythm. Later at home, they stood on the balcony, looking at the city. The back with against Jungkook's chest. Jungkook's arms were wrapped around him. You know, Jungkook chuckled, put his face on his neck. Your silence was the most beautiful, terrifying thing I have ever experienced. But I hope I never heard it again. They turned in his arms, his eyes sparkling with love and bit of mischief. Then keep giving me reasons to use my word, and I'll make sure that all our love is yours and under the star. They kissed their love story a masterpiece once more, not because it was perfect, but because it was perfectly, romantically there.